Hello everyone, I am Valerio and today I wanted to bring you my first work concerning the world building of Wuthering Waves. I've been working hard for about 3 months on studying, researching and archiving the story and the lore of this game, so I hope to be able to bring you a complete and clear work. The world of Wuthering Waves contains many scientific topics. We will be encountering a lot of physics terms. In fact, today I will explain the basis of the world we are going to experience in less than a month. The story of Wuthering Waves unfolds on Solaris 3, the third planet in the solar system. It all begins with the first lament. New things emerge. The old rules are invalid and unprecedented disasters are raging on the Earth. In this new world where destruction and rebirth coexist, humans are holding the unyielding spark of civilization and are about to resist the new wave of unknown never-ending crisis. Indeed, the lament is the general term for all the disaster trends in Solaris 3. The tide never stops. The lament never rests. The anomalies that occurred after the lament are the formation of the etheric sea, tacit fields, retroact rain, blizzard, and gravity loss. They have an erosive effect on the world of Solaris 3 and are collectively called wave-worn phenomenon. The etheric sea is a special type of abnormal weather phenomenon. The sky appears to resemble an upside-down ocean surface. Typically, when the etheric sea phenomenon appears, a tachet field is about to form on the ground. These tachet fields are fields that arise in unpredictable places. However, there are individuals, among those known as resonators, who can detect the formation of tachet fields by reading so-called streams, i.e. flows in the air, as Yang Yang does. Tachet fields are believed to be the place where all tachet discourse materialize and gather. These places are characterized by a deep cross-shaped tachet mark on the ground. Frequencies fill the air, connecting our world to an unknown space through wide resonance chords. Since we are talking about oceans, this endless, repeated phenomenon can be called tides. During these tides, creatures known as tachet discords emerge from the tachet fields. By definition, they are entities formed by the residual chaotic frequency energy of the tachet fields, having an indefinite shape. But what are frequencies in the Wuthering Waves world? We have said that when the lament occurred, the laws of nature changed. Well, because of the lament, now the world is built around the concepts of sound and frequency. Indeed, Yang Yang tells us during the story that everything in our world is made up of frequencies. The most important concept comes now. There is a view in the academic world that during the wave-worn phenomenon, matter, information, and energy are all reduced to the vibrating frequency. It must be seen in a different way than we are used to. In fact, it can take on physical form. An important characteristic of these frequencies is that they have a maximum peak at the beginning of their life cycle, but decay over time as real energy. The life cycle of a frequency goes through several stages, each of them having its own name. We mentioned matter, information, and energy, and we have said that these concepts have been reconstructed by the lament. Now we get into the technical. The world of Wuthering Waves is based on physics concepts. Through countless scientific studies, researchers have come to discover the existence of a condensed space within which there is a pure and complete, but invisible and intangible information energy. It cannot be captured, let alone sampled or analyzed. This condensed space is known scientifically as the sonorosphere, and this intangible energy is known as remnant. The remnant is a pure and complete form of frequency energy, whose recorded information can exist stably in some form beyond time and space. It is the original frequency information, not yet decayed, probably coming from another dimensional plane through the wide resonant cores mentioned earlier. The sonorosphere is an important source of information for humans to understand the history and civilization of the lament. It is an illusion made of remnant frequencies, in which the environment within ever changing. But above all, it is the place where remnant is pierced and has not yet decayed. This makes the sonorosphere the most suitable place for seeking the truth. In his story quest, Ji Yan tells Rover that the sonorosphere, simply put, it's an illusion made of memories, bringing us perhaps to the conclusion that remnant can be compared to memories. So, to summarize, we have said that matter, information, and energy, so also the remnant, are reduced to the vibrating frequency, that it has a life cycle and tends to decay. According to research observations, once the frequency and remnant decay, they become reverberations. They are destined to continue decaying, and this process is irreversible. At this stage, the frequency begins to acquire a shape, which varies according to the original frequency nature, depending on the way it vibrates. A concept borrowed from string theory, from which I believe they have taken their inspiration. There is a chance that the reverberation does not decay completely and become an echo. Basically, echoes are the lingering touched discourse reverberations after they are shattered. They are a reverberation photograph. The part of the frequency decomposed becomes persistent. It stops in time and its life cycle comes to halt, no longer decaying. We can absorb them into the data banks in our Pangu terminals. The explanation of the life cycle of a frequency was necessary to better understand the Wuthering Waves were building and to understand what these touched discourse actually are. We said that they are entities formed by the residual chaotic frequency energy of the touched fields, having an indefinite shape. Indeed, we have seen that the frequency can have a shape. Unfortunately, however, during tides, this shape is the enemy of the population. The touched discourse possesses a special structure called touched core. The academic community calls these touched cores reverberation, leading to the inference that the frequency emanating from the touched fields decays into the form of these touched cores. The main touched discourse characteristic is that they evolve by swallowing and merging with other frequencies, thus using a predation-like behavior pattern. This leads us to say that the frequency not only decays, but can also merge with other frequencies. This concept is very important because we will discuss it in the Resonators video. During wave-worn phenomenon, on the Earth's surface, it is not uncommon for tacetite to be created. Scientists have discovered that tacetite is a substance that can permanently hold remnant energy. It is a great source of energy that it has begun to be processed for military purpose. Indeed, it has been discovered that it be able to shattering touch discords and absorb frequencies. Returning to the touch discords, their abilities, shapes, and behaviors vary due to difference in frequency information, thus depending on their initial nature and depending on the frequencies with which they merged during decay. It is said that touch discords tend to mimic humans. In fact, they attack other living beings because they need to feed on other frequencies to make themselves whole again. By feeding on the human being's frequencies, they tend to inherit their behavior, their last will. For those who are familiar, this is very similar to the concept of blood-borne cycles of blood. So, we can say that if frequencies are native to a human being, they possess their will and desires, which are none other than those of the human being himself. In a way, it is our wills and emotions that feed the touch discord. But that's not the worst of it. In fact, it is said that there are formidable creatures with the power to destroy human spirit and feed off their collapsed will. They represent the hidden fears and inner turmoil of humanity, and it is said they are once causing the plague of touch discords in different parts of the world. In essence, they are a reflection of the collective will of a humans condensed into physical form. Their name is Renodians.